Hi everyone, Freddie here from Drummond again. So we have reached Wednesday and we're back today with another yoga and Pilates inspired strength workout. So today is more focusing on the lower body. So we're going to do a combination of those yoga and Pilates exercises and poses just to get us building some strength into those legs and into those glutes, and I hope you enjoy. Hope you can maybe add yesterday's strength session with the upper body and the lower body if you want to make it extra challenging for yourself, and then tomorrow we'll be coming in with a stretch session just to loosen it all off towards the end of the week. Have a great day. Okay, so let's just get ourselves into the right mindset by starting with our mountain pose, okay? So bringing our big toes and our ankles together. Remember, your feet are slightly apart if you tend to get some lower back discomfort. So we're going to stand nice and tall, shoulders are down your back, really lift through your thighs, squeezing into your glutes, okay? Thinking about like a little hand coming in and up and lightly engaging through your abdominal muscles, and then shoulders are coming down again, opening out your hands and lifting through the crown of the head so your neck is nice and long at the back. So we're now in our mountain pose, and I just want you to take 3 breaths in here. So we're going to breathe in through from the belly all the way up through the ribs, the chest, the back, into the hollows just above the collarbone. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale and exhale. Trying to inhale and exhale through the nose if you can. Really letting everything go. And exhale. Okay. So as I said, we're building up some lower body strength today. So I'd like us to start in a warrior 2 position. So taking your right foot to the front of your mat. Take your left foot back and just imagine there's a line down your mat and you want your heels to both be on the same line. So the front foot is facing forward and your back foot is facing as far forward as it possibly can. Okay, otherwise you can have it slightly facing towards the side just to look after your ankle there. So tucking that pelvis under, so we're looking after the back is nice and straight. We're going to inhale to bring our arms up. As we exhale, shoulders are away from our ears, and we're just making sure that our arms are shoulder height. This is working a little bit into the arms today, but I want to predominantly work into the lower body. So if you really struggle with your arms, then feel free to put them onto your hips. So we're going to inhale. As we exhale, take that front knee over your middle 2 toes, whilst trying to keep your hips as open as you possibly can. Now, if you find that by keeping your hips open, that makes your knee rock in, okay, the most important thing is that that knee is coming over those middle 2 toes. So really just, if you need to turn your hips slightly, then do, but try and open them out as much as you can. So that knee is coming towards those toes, all right, middle 2 toes. We're stretched out into those arms. You want to try and really pull through those arms here. Okay, shoulders are really relaxed. And we're thinking about drawing up into that lower abdomen. Maybe it's a good time to think about your pelvic floor here, so engaging through all 3 passages of your pelvic floor. Tucking your pelvis under so we have a nice flat back, and we're just going to hold here. For those of you that want more of a challenge, you can imagine you've got 2 magnets on the insides of your thighs and you're pulling those magnets together, okay? Really engaging through your adductors, through your inner thigh. And pulling there, looking over your front fingertips, feeling strong, okay, feeling healthy, and really just looking after the body, feeling that warmth coming. Now, if you're not feeling much into the thigh and you want to make it a little bit deeper, all right, I hope you're still doing it, we're going to extend our stance a little bit and come a little bit further down into it and just start to really feel that heat coming into your thigh. So really pulling those arms away. Shoulders are relaxed, deep breaths. Let's do 4 more breaths here. Now if you're struggling to breathe through the nose, feel free to breathe through the mouth. It is hay fever season at the moment, so if you're feeling a bit snotty, don't force yourself into breathing through the nose. Last breath in and out. Can you come a little bit deeper with that knee? Good, we're going to relax off there. Okay, so while we're doing this, we're going to swap sides, okay? This is less of a flow today and more just going into the poses and exercises. So again, making sure that those heels are on the same line. This time our back of our mat is our new front. So left foot is facing the front, okay? Right foot is adjusted its position. Inhale, bring those arms up, tucking that pelvis under. As we exhale, front knee, left knee comes over middle two toes. And again, this side might be easier or more challenging to open out. We really want to make sure that that knee is going forward or back, okay, rather than side to side. So turn the hips slightly if you need to, lift through that lower abdomen and just really pull through those arms. Remember, if you need to, you can get a little bit of an extended stance, okay? And come a little bit further into it. I'm going to hold. Remember, this is more about the lower body today, so I want you to, if you're really struggling with the arms, because you really went for it in the arms section yesterday, then hands can come onto hips. We're lifted through that body, shoulders are relaxed down your back. Keeping your knees over those middle two toes, coming deeper if you want to. Let's take 4 more breaths here. Really tucking into your belly and tucking the pelvis under, the tailbone under. Breathing in, breathing out. Shoulders are relaxed. Last breath. And relax off there. Straighten your leg, okay? Turn your legs out. And we're just going to have the toes facing slightly out for this one. We're going to go into our goddess pose. So we've done this before, but for those of you that didn't watch that one, all right, have your legs nice and wide, or as wide as is comfortable for you. The aim of the game is that the knees are going to go over the toes. So if, like me, you're slightly turned out naturally, you can have your toes out in this position, that's absolutely fine. But if you're more comfortable with your feet facing forward, no problem either, okay? So we're going to inhale, bring our arms up into high prayer. As we exhale, we're going to take our knees down over those toes. So for those of you that were ever into ballet, it's a little bit like a grand plie, okay? Coming down, tucking your pelvis under so that we're not pushing the bottom out. So nice flat backs to get the most out of this pose. And then when you're ready, you're going to take those arms down into a 90-degree angle so you can rest your leverage on your biceps, all right? Pointing those hands inwards, and then try and find your balance here. So, as I said, most importantly, we want to try and make sure that we are tucking that tailbone under so that our back is nice and flat, okay? So again, knees are coming over the toes, we're opening out into those thighs, here with the arms, and we're holding. Lifting through that lower abdomen, and starting to really feel those legs build in that warmth, that heat, that strength that we're building there, okay? You might find it quite challenging. If it's too much, slightly bring your the width of your stance in, okay? And just come down a little bit and work on it, slowly coming into it deeper and deeper. You can do this exercise as many times as you like over the coming days, weeks, whatever, and just work into it. You don't have to start this low, okay, this deep. We're going to take 6 more breaths here. You might really start to feel the legs going. And those of you who are struggling with the arms, again, hands can come onto hips. If you want to take it up a level, you want to leave your arms where they are, and you might want to start to lightly pulse up and down, okay, really driving through the heels rather than the toes. Opening those knees out so that they're going over towards the toes rather than falling in, okay? Really opening out there, tucking that tailbone under. Let's do 3 more breaths. 2. And 1. We're going to slowly rise with those legs. Oh, give them a bit of a shake. Turn those feet forward, and we're just going to roll down. So I want you to roll the body down, tucking that chin. Rolling all the way down to the floor, really slow roll. Okay, so this is a wide-legged forward fold, but we want to employ those pilates rolls. Okay, so we want to think about centering, drawing that belly in, shoulders down back and down to begin with. Tuck that chin into your chest and start to really try and separate each vertebrae as you're coming down. Vertebra as you're coming down until you reach the bottom of the floor. And we're just going to hang here for a second, because although we're focusing on strengthening into that lower body, I really do think it's important that we get a bit of a stretch here as well. So relaxing there, taking your weight slightly forward, so it's slightly off the heels and more towards the midfoot here. We're relaxing there, so our bottom is now over our feet, or in line with our feet, rather than really sitting backwards. So we're holding this position, breathing in, breathing out. Let's just take 3 more breaths. Alrighty, so we're going to turn now. Right foot turns towards the front of the mat. You're going to take a big bend, tucking those toes at the back. You're going to walk your hands up your leg so that you're in this position, this long lunged position. At any point, by the way, if you want to, you can take your knee down onto the floor. So if this is enough for you, just getting a little bit of strength into the leg and you're taking your weight through your hands, that's absolutely fine. If you want, you can take your hands onto your hips, or if you're feeling really strong today, you might want to take your arms up above you for that ultimate stretch and strength, okay? So pick your options wisely here. You want to try and be able to hold for 6 more breaths. Try and straighten that back leg if you can. Squeeze into your bottom to look after the back, and if you get any lower back discomfort, either come slightly further out of it, so you're tilting the pelvis under a little bit more, or take that back knee down towards the ground and use this more of a stretch than a strengthening exercise, okay? So, we were doing 6 breaths, we've got 4 more to go. Breathing in, breathing out, whatever's comfortable for you. Remember, you can be here or here. Holding. Keeping your breath coming in and out. Remember, as I said, hay fever season, breathe through your mouth if you need to. I know I'm struggling. Alrighty, taking those hands all the way down. Tuck your toes if they're not already at the back. Okay, you're going to bring yourself into a downward facing dog and just really bending and stretching into those legs. Okay. Give yourself a little bit of a break there into the lower leg. Woo. And then we are going to take the right foot back up. So the right foot's coming back forward again. But we're actually going to turn the left onto the back, okay? We're going to walk across with those hands, facing the left foot towards the new front, to the back now. We're turning the right onto its foot, and just adjust yourself so that your ankle's underneath your knee. Okay, back toes there, and then whenever you're ready, engage through your core to bring you up. Walk your hands up, come into that lengthened position with the back hip, and remember, you have your options. So your options are making sure that we're in that really comfortable position there. Your options are either taking your weight through your hands in this position. Hands can come onto your hips, okay, open out into the chest, or you can take your arms above your head. Breathing in, breathing out. And we're doing 6 breaths here. Breathe. Really making sure that knee isn't falling in or out. Getting the most out of this exercise by having it nice and straight towards your middle 2 toes. 3 more breaths. And last one. And we're taking our hands back down to the floor, as we did before, coming back into that down dog, and just bend and stretch those legs. Whew. Taking that chest back towards your thighs, and then just take a quick break here. So knees come down to the floor. Oh, you're always hugging your calves to your thighs and your thighs to your belly by coming back into your child's position. And don't mind so much if we're not getting a back stretch here. You can be on your forearms, alright? If you prefer to come down into a full child's pose, that's absolutely fine, alright? Getting a nice stretch. And for those of you that did the arms yesterday, it might be more comfortable for you to be down, have a stretch of the back as well. Whew, and just breathe. Breathing into the belly, into the ribs, the back. Really good one for opening out into the back in child's pose with your breath and just starting to expand the limits of how much you use your lungs and the space that you can breathe into, okay? So, moving on from kind of the more yoga poses onto some pilates based exercises. So we have a couple of these, all right? And we're going to come to lying on our sides. So I want you to use your arm as a pillow, all right? If you struggle to get your arm into that position, you can pop a cushion under your head and just have your arm facing out forward. But we're going to lie down, all right? So if you've got limited space, you can, rather than having your arm out, have your arm over your head here, or just resting against whatever obstacle is in your way, okay? And we really just want to make sure that we are lining ourselves up here. So if you flex your foot, you should be able to just about see your toes at the bottom. We want to take top hip on top of bottom hip. Top hand is in front of us, fingertips on the floor only, all right, to make sure that we're keeping our balance here, okay? Drawing that belly button in, making sure we're tilted into that pelvis, connecting that lowest rib with your hip, okay? So keeping that really nice and strong and centered here, all right? And then you're going to just make sure those shoulders are stacked as well, so we're not really reaching over with that top shoulder. So we're nice and centered in our sideline neutral. Now, for those of you that tend to get a little bit uncomfortable into the greater transfer, so that the little bony bit that's sticking into the ground, particularly if you're just on quite a thin mat, you're welcome to grab a jumper, maybe a thin t-shirt that you roll and put underneath the hip, just to take some of the pressure off. I have also been advising the use of a clean kitchen sponge, because they are really great for just popping under there and moulding a little bit to the bone, okay? So coming back into your position, all right, making sure that we're really lovely and aligned. And what I want you to do is inhale. As you exhale, take both legs off the ground if you can. If you can't, leave the legs on the ground, and we're just going to do what we're about to do with the top leg, okay? So we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're going to lift and lower, and you can point your toes to this if you want to. You're going to lift and lower. So we inhale to come back together. We exhale to lift in our side lying leg lift, all right? So we lift and we lower, and we're going to keep going for 8. And you should really start to feel this in the sides of your glutes there. All right, really lifting. This is a great one for working into glute med. That's it, lifting and lowering. Keep going for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold at the top, and we're going to lightly pulse. Okay, we're pulsing for 8, 7, 6, keeping that bottom leg off the ground if you can, 5, 4, staying really nice and precise with that movement, 3, breathe, 2, and 1, relax off there. Okay, we're just going to do one more exercise here, so while we're lying down, that is. So we're going to inhale. As we exhale, if you can, take both of those legs off the ground again, really engaging through your abdominals. Okay, think about your pelvic floor. And then we're just going to lightly scissor those legs forward and back. And this is a really nice little movement, okay? The more that you do a big movement, the more you're going to wobble in the upper body. And your precision marker here is that you want to keep everything above this center line really nice and still. So whenever you're ready, you're going to inhale. As you exhale, take both legs off the ground, and then breathing normally, just start to bring that movement into the legs, really engaging through those abdominals, squeezing into your glutes, okay? Feeling that lift there. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, relax. Okay, so we're going to push up onto our forearms now. So elbows come underneath our shoulders, hands are forward, knees slightly forward and feet back. So this is kind of a variation of a clam. So what we want to make sure that we're doing is keeping that top hip on top of your bottom hip as much as you can, drawing that belly in, okay, shoulders back. So hands can either be in front of you, or you can have a hand on the hip, and we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're going to lift the leg, really squeezing into the glute as you do, and as you inhale, you come back down. So we exhale to lift, we inhale to come back down. We're going to do 10 of these, okay? So we go for 10. Good. 9. That's it, staying really still above that centre line. 8. Keep going for 7. Breathe. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And hold. And relax. Okay, so we're going to push back up and we're going to do all of that on the other side. Alright, so grab hold of your little padding for your hips if you need it. Though some of you might not need it though, so lucky you if you don't. Pop it on there. Let's lie down on the other side. I tend to shift my head onto the other side just so I can still see you, okay? And you might want to do the same so you can still see me. So get comfortable here. Make sure that we are in our lovely lying positions. Top hip on top of bottom hip, top hand on the floor. Okay, drawing that belly button in. Alright, thinking about tilting your pelvis under. And then when you're ready, if you can, you're going to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you can take both legs off the ground. Alright, so if you can't, then really do just leave that bottom leg on the ground. And we're just going to do this with the top leg. Inhaling, and as we exhale, we lift towards the sky, really using the side of your glute here rather than tilting back and just using your hip to push up. Alright, so we're coming up and down, okay? Exhale up, inhale back down. Let's go for 8. Breathing in, breathing out. 7. Keep going. For 6. Staying really still above that centre line. 5. Opening out into the chest. 4. Really good to keep self-checking here. 3. 2. And at 1 we stay up and we lightly pulse. Remember, you can have your both legs off the ground if you're working harder, or like me right now, you can take the lower option and keep the lowest leg on the ground. Keep going for 8, 7, breathe, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax that there. Just take a quick break. You can move into the muscle if you need to. Pop your hand back down whenever you're ready. Put those toes again. You're going to inhale. As you exhale, if you can take both legs off the ground, you should. Alright, and then start to get those nice scissoring movements there. Okay, again, if it's too much, you leave that bottom leg on the floor. Alright, and you just try and do this nice and slowly with the top leg. And you can maybe kick forward and point back. Kick forward and point back. Alright, we're going to keep going for 10, 9, breathe, 8, 7, 6, smile if you can, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax off there, push up onto your forearm. So, we're pushed up onto the forearm, elbows underneath shoulder. If you do struggle with this because you have any elbow or shoulder issues, you can stack cushions, or if you've got like a squishy ball that you can put underneath your ribs, then you can take the weight completely off. It's completely up to you. So, top hip on top of bottom hip, okay? Making sure knees are slightly forward, toes are back. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, we lift. Squeeze into that glute. Inhale to relax, exhale to lift, and we're going to do 10 of these. So go for 10. And relax. 9, relax. Exhale for 8, sorry, can't count. Go for 7 and relax. 6 and 5, 4, breathe. 3, 2 and 1, hold up. And relax off there. Whew, give yourself a break, well done. Okay, your lower body taking a little bit of pounding there. So if you want to take it even further, then skip back and do it all again. Alright, otherwise we're just going to have a quick stretch. Okay, so taking that Left leg out, taking your right leg over, okay, sitting nice and tall, which is going to stretch out into the glutes. So sitting nice and tall, we're either just going to hug the right leg into your body with your left arm, taking your right hand behind you, sitting nice and tall, looking over that shoulder, okay, or if you are quite flexible here into the spine, you might want to take your elbow onto the side, but it's a little bit more of a spinal twist, that one. So I do really want us to make sure that we're getting that stretch into the glutes. So sit nice and tall, look over that back shoulder. Breathe. And relax off there, take the leg back down, sit nice and tall, okay, other leg over, sit nice and tall again, alright, hug the left leg in with your right arm, left arm behind you, fingertips on the floor, lift with those fingertips all through that arm, keeping shoulders still away from your ears, and look over that left shoulder. And the taller we sit, the more we're going to feel this, so really try and lengthen into that spine. Relax off there. Okay, so if you want to do a little bit more stretch, then please do go back through some other sessions where we've done some more stretch-based stuff. Okay, otherwise, make sure that you stretch off here, and I will see you tomorrow because I'm bringing you a whole stretch session, which you can start ending your more high energy sessions with. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.